so everybody knows each other. Da-da-da. We're recording on YouTube, so it's a very exciting time. All right, we're gonna approve the agenda. So, is there a motion to be made to approve the agenda as such?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Agenda stands approved. No changes or deletions may be made going forward. Okay. Approval of the minutes.
I posted the minutes of the March 10th, 2016 PTA meeting for your review. Are there any corrections? The minutes stand approved. That's correct.
Okay, thank you. Moving right along. Staff reports.
Okay. Enrollment is 654. You know, kindergarten enrollment is open now online, so we're getting them steadily as we can. You know, the budget, the boundaries passed. We lost Fieldstone, and we're gaining from past days of background. That's the only change we had. Yeah.
How many
So,
students does that?
I think we're losing about 8, 9.
Okay.
I think we're getting about 110.
Okay.
So
It's not.
It's not huge.
No, it's kind of a big number.
Right.
So that starts next September. Our bank is supposed to have its grand opening April 20th at 1:30 here. We've not gotten a lot of people that open accounts. I think we maybe might have 20 out for school.
I asked her yesterday.
The lady was on the morning show this morning,
Oh.
and things went home again to remind parents of the Thursday folders, and that's ongoing. That's like open enrollment. You can do that anytime. Open with the grand opening and the ribbon cutting really gets people excited to do that. And that went home today. Yesterday, the third, fourth, and fifth, we sent home the letters from the BBES about SOL, and they're coming up, and about the retakes that went home. Thursday folders yesterday also. And that's all I got.
Alright. Any questions?
Oh, and for the fun run, I did send that guy the schedule.
We got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, good, because we'll wanna post that. That's the schedule for the day, or the
Yes.
schedule for the whole week?
The
Or the-
race,
for the
the
day.
race
For the day.
schedule,
All
the
right.
race
for
schedule.
the
Okay.
teachers.
Well, I'll definitely wanna post that on.
And it works around schedule, it works around specials, and it works around lunch. So it shouldn't interfere with anything.
Good job on that. Hope that
Yeah,
took
Thank you
too
so
time.
much. That must have been one.
I was gonna say that.
Seriously.
That's all I got.
Excellent. Any questions? Questions, comments, concerns? Okay. Our staff representative. You have nothing to report?
It is National Night.
And our book fair was very successful.
Was it?
Oh, good. Excellent. Do you want, it's at 1:30, right, that thing? I was gonna just go back to you for a second. Do you need the tiger then?
We're like, excited.
Okay, I'm glad I asked. See what I can do.
Work that out.
You what?
Can work that out.
See if I can
You
work it out.
contact me.
In between, as long as I don't, you know, because at the lunch that they're having, they always have this wonderful mousse and all this kind of thing. Somebody always makes this, that lunch is that, isn't there a lunch on the 20th?
Yeah. Which lunch?
So that's the same day as the grand opening.
At my house.
But it's at one, well, we're not till 1:30.
Well, I know that, but, you know, after one eats,
Yeah.
yeah, after one eats, and then gets into the suit, and it's supposed to be 80 sometime next week.
I'm sure you got an
Alright.
invitation.
Oh.
Today's the last day to RSVP,
Yeah, I
Tricia,
guess
so I'm
I guess
gonna
I lost out
forward
there.
you the invitation.
Work on the
right
next
now.
one. I'll be okay.
You want to?
All right. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. All right. For the 20th. Okay. I'll add this 20th. Thank you. All right. We're good. So everybody, those who, people got the invitations. Did you guys RSVP for this fabulous lunch?
I didn't,
I
think I
did.
got the invitation,
Like
but,
10 minutes ago.
Laura's gonna send it.
I just did, I sent it to you and Amy.
You didn't get, I got a paper invitation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pink
Yeah.
invitation.
Let me, hold on, let me put it this way, if it came home with Tristan, there's a really good reason I didn't get it, if it came home with Reese, I would definitely have gotten it, but.
Tina got it, Tina.
She's gonna. Yeah. You can.
Tina
You can.
just texted me a photo of it. So.
You can do
Okay.
it online. Like
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
RSVP.
it's fine, no, I didn't get that,
But
so I
today's
wondered
the
if maybe,
today's
it's
the
fine.
last day, we can-
Did you get your invitation?
Oh,
Oh, nice, thank you.
The what?
Dare
I just,
invitation.
I texted
Dare
you.
invitation.
Oh, he's not here.
Yeah, he is.
He is a person. Did you get your invitation on
Oh,
Monday?
so fast.
Did you get yours?
I have them.
Believe how long my hair's getting.
It's a little.
What, postcard?
I can't do.
And it's an invitation.
No,
Scan
scan
them.
Okay, bright orange.
Okay,
It's also posted up.
okay,
Yeah, look
Yeah.
at it.
I will look
Okay.
for that.
Alright.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we're moving right along. Anything else? We're good there. Okay, our LEAP representative is here. Terry McLeod. Explain a little about LEAP.
So LEAP, this is when you try to make an acronym, and so you make the title words fit into the acronym. It stands for Loudoun Education Alliance of Parents. Maybe not this most successful one. Every school has at least one parent rep, some schools have two. We meet at the LCPS building on the second Wednesday of every month. I missed a couple meetings. I went to the first two meetings, the room was packed. I went last night and there were about 20 parents. So I suspect that it's progressively gotten smaller, but also the budget meeting was going on last night. So there may have been LEAP reps who were at the budget meeting. So, this is the time that if any of you is interested in having the group discuss a topic, you can let me know and I can tell them. They kind of set the programming over the summer and they
What
develop
type of
plans.
topics? I'm sorry.
Right, so I'll get to that. So, the first one was, called Can You Hear Me Now? And it was about how to communicate with your child's school. And they had some really excellent, principals, vice principals, and teachers talking about the most effective way to communicate with your school. And something that I learned, that I appreciated learning, was one of the principals never ever sits at her desk with the parent across the desk because it's confrontational. She always has them sitting side by side so that they feel that they're in a partnership instead of an antagonistic relationship. And she finds that really tends to calm exasperated parents. There was a man there, I'm not even sure if he was a rep, who has a restraining order against him from the school, who wanted the panel to answer his question about why he had a restraining order. I think we're thankful there were 2 sheriff's deputies, because he was really, really mad, and they were like, well, we can't comment, right? But it really was,
It's a good time.
well done. The second one is,
Wade Baird was there.
Wade Byers there every time. I get closer and closer. I just don't want him to think I'm stalking. Yeah.
We're all stopped.
I think we only have one meeting left, and I think I'm trying to work up the courage to say hi.
He'll be there that morning.
At where?
At our ribbon.
He will be.
He will be?
Oh.
For sure.
The way.
Okay.
But
Wade.
it's spot on Wade Byard, let me tell you.
All right.
He might.
Okay. I'm trying.
Awesome.
He
We'll work
is
with him.
larger than life. No, he's not. He's
Yes.
exactly what you think he is.
Yeah.
The second meeting was The Future Is Now, what colleges are looking for. You can kind of imagine in Loudoun County what that was like. But they did have some people from schools, but they also had counselors, someone who had been a school counselor, but then is now in private practice, kind of talking about, helping kids with stress. But they also had representatives from Shenandoah and from Mason and from Nova talking about what they were looking for. And obviously that was more geared at high school, although it is Loudoun County, so they did, let everyone know that now's the time to start building your child's resume so they can apply for college. And then they had a piece on teacher diversity. You may notice that the county is trying to increase
Yes.
underrepresented groups within the teaching community. I think that they're going to have a big challenge with that because overall the number of people wanting to become teachers has been decreasing. And so I think LCPS overall has had, not just LCPS, but the school boards have had trouble recruiting. And so I think that that's part of a much broader issue of teacher recruitment and teacher retention. So they talked about that. The one of the two that I will have remaining on this, this was Target School. Blame everything on Target.
She works at Target.
Oh, I love
Every-
Target.
Yeah, we know.
I used to work at Target
She
too.
see, she's there till like 1, 2 in the morning.
Yeah, it was Christmas and January were a little rough, but they did have one on To Your Health. That was the one I really wanted to go on, student nutrition and phys ed. They had a joint meeting with MSAC, and SEEK, which is what, Special Education, and then Minority Students Association. They had a group where they were trying to talk about common issues. Beyond the transcript, LCPS guide, that was about guidance counseling. And then last night's was about BYOT, which is kind of a topic near and dear to my heart. It was interesting. They brought people from the technical side of LCPS to talk about how they had increased bandwidth and gigs and whatever, you know. My daughter's at Smarts Mill, which was one of the early adopters of BYOT. They brought it in and the whole server crashed the very first day because they did not have the capacity. I'm not sure how they hadn't anticipated that, but they really hadn't. It was quite catastrophic at the beginning, but they worked those kind of kinks out. He talked about how the state of Virginia has a requirement that every school has a 5-to-1 ratio of students to computers, that LCPS has a 3.6-to-1. Some schools, the PTA and PTO has purchased either Chromebooks or other types of tablet/laptop devices. Apparently those do not count into the ratio, so some schools with wealthier, of course these are wealthier schools, right, where the PTAs can throw galas and whatever, they have more computers, right, and their kids are the ones coming to school with phones anyway, but that was the only bit of equity they were willing to talk about, which is one of my concerns with it. They weren't really willing to entertain any more discussion about fairness. And actually in Loudon Now, today's Loudon Now, there is a letter that's clearly written by an either middle school or high school student about the downsides of BYOT in a learning environment, and about how, you know, the most dedicated students, of course, do what they're supposed to do on their devices, but the other students are on YouTube or whatever. They weren't really willing to see the downside of BYOT last night. So they had a number of people on panels. They had the principal of Legacy, Blue Ridge, and Parkview talk about their experiences with BYOT, and of course it's very different environments because of the different age groups. At Legacy, they rolled it out, I think they actually rolled it out in September. This school, I think, was gonna start they're part of the January cohort, but Legacy was part of the September cohort. So teachers were given training in the summer, and parents were advised that this was in the pipeline. And so, and they did a lot of training on digital citizenship with the students. And so they're hoping that the elementary school becomes the building blocks for responsible use of technology later on. So when parents were asking questions about inappropriate use of technology at school, because even things like Facebook and YouTube aren't blocked, right? YouTube they can't block because that's one of the things they're using in these educational ways. But you know, how are they dealing with this? And so the principal at Legacy said, well, for him, they really felt that they were responsible for teaching these skills and these responsibilities at elementary school. But you know, the other two principals have these fantastic examples of work the students had done, ways they had incorporated technology. Parkview is at least the high school with the highest subsidized and free breakfast and lunch. It has the highest Latino population. It has, I think, the highest immigrant population overall, and it has the highest ELL population. So one of the examples he had was something called PV Math TV, so Parkview Math Television, where teachers and students show how to solve problems, math problems. But the Latino students teach it in Spanish, and so they're reaching this large group of students within their school. So before this, Dolson, I think is his name, became principal there, they were a failing school. Less than 50% of their students were on grade level for math, which is like warning bells, right? Now, a year and a half later, they have 77% of their students at grade level on math. He didn't think that that was all BYOT, but he really felt that this PV Math TV had captured the excitement of students. And he even said his son goes to a different high school, his son logs on and looks at the student tutorials. So there was a lot on building either local or global citizenship through BYOT, which I thought was fantastic. But the one thing, and this was the question I asked, was they talked about it in terms of student growth and growth of the school and growth of the community, but the students aren't being evaluated on that, right? The students are being evaluated through standardized testing. And so how do you reconcile those two things? That they get to do all this exciting stuff, but they don't get, it doesn't, there's no measurement of that. And because LCPS is so data-driven, what happens in May, when all that stuff shuts down and it's all SOL prep all the time, or AP exam prep. And, he had some interesting responses to that. The principal of Blue Ridge said I shouldn't worry, that the SOL tests were being done in the computer labs and it wasn't interrupting the bandwidth of the students working on their handheld technology. And I was like, not even what I'm talking about, but that didn't seem to, but anyway, I would say that there was much, well, I will give you the example of the BYOT success story from Legacy. There's a student who has a speech IEP and is very nervous about speaking in class. I can't remember what grade this was, but each student had to pick a three-dimensional object and create some way of explaining what it was. So this student made a little movie where the sphere talks. And so he had to synchronize the movement of the sphere to his own voice. And he did this himself. But you don't ever see him, you just hear the sphere talking. And you can hear that the problems with speech is quite severe, but you could hear and understand everything. And he had this amazing boost to his self-esteem that he was able to do this, and all the kids in this class got to see it and the whole thing. So that's where I even said at the beginning of my question, I felt a lot better about BYOT at the end of the meeting than I certainly had going in. So I think, that's basically what they do.
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, especially for you, who you didn't, BYOT wasn't on the top of your list, and now.
Or what's on the top of a list.
A list, but not on that list. Yes, and so, but that's good though.
So, in the future, I will try to be better about, getting something written down.
Oh, no, it's just, I just wanted people just to come to a meeting. Are you, but thank you for going, because I know that takes some time. Did you want to be our rep next year?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll, hopefully pulling back my hours at.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, wonderful, thank you. Any questions for Carrie?
Thank you for, I'll say hi to Wade for you when I.
Yeah, get his autograph. Okay, thank you. Membership, skipping over. Okay, nominations committee, Cheryl.
Yes.
You may read that. And this
Okay.
letter is going out to, I'll need you to initial where your name is, and then we will make copies and send it home.
Okay. Do I need to read the whole thing or just names?
Now, you need to read that paragraph, please.
For officialness.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so for the 2016-17 BBES PTA Board nominees, per Article 8, Section 4 of our BBES PTA bylaws, this flyer is our 30-day notice to our membership body regarding the election of our 2016-17 BBES PTA Board. All future nominations will be made from the floor on Election Day. Exciting. May 12th, 2016 at 4 p.m. in the BBES library. All current BBES PTA members are eligible to vote. President, Jory Gelman.
Not her.
Hey, on the floor on May 12th. VP Ways and Means, blank. So we need to work on that.
Yeah, you wanna do it?
I'm not so easy as that.
Ways and Means, she used to be an accountant. She's an accountant. Ways and Means, isn't that money? No.
That's
Fundraising.
That's fundraising. Treasurer.
What's Ways?
Fundraising.
That's
Isn't that money?
Wow.
That's true.
You have to be salesy. Cheryl could do it. All right, continue.
VP Programs, Tricia Morton.
Way to go.
So that's a change, right?
No.
No, we're the same. The next one's the change.
Yes.
Treasurer, Flora Barbara.
Yes.
And Secretary, Amy Verostic.
Very good.
And coming from a severe, Communications Director, Christy Laurie.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Everybody? Okay.
Oh, and thank you to all our nominees, and best of luck on election day.
Yes. Start our campaigning.
So,
Start our
Fist to
campaigning.
cuffs the competition.
Yeah.
so yeah, we need to get that VP waves and means, and so what does that mean if there's no?
Well,
I'm sure you'll find
we'll figure it out.
somebody.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll believe that.
Exactly.
One or the
You
other.
could do it, yeah.
She'll corner someone at swim team practice.
Yeah, I'll get somebody.
That's right.
Me and my friend
Then
Yara
we'll have a little
pulled
vote
me into her
online
car.
and we'll all be happy. Unless the vote can come down on election day too, because as of now.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be like the Republican nomination.
Take your stuff.
Go from the floor.
Take your
Yes,
packet.
yes.
You know, I hope they don't melt.
I'll be reviewing.
True, I'm not gonna put it in.
Nice.
All right, okay, thank you. Any questions for Cheryl now that we're losing Tracy?
But congratulations.
But Tracy has a job.
Yes.
What do you do?
Congratulations.
I'm going to be teaching.
Oh,
Where?
She got an early.
I got an early contract, I don't know yet,
oh,
so in middle or high school.
wow.
What are you gonna be teaching?
Math.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Please
That's
teach math
awesome.
at Smurfville, please teach.
Yeah,
It's
no
just such
kidding.
they don't have any postings if they have a.
They don't.
So. I
But
don't
that's
know.
still early, right?
Yeah, it is.
Ish.
That's exciting though.
Yeah,
And
it
hard
is.
in this, you know.
I'm very excited. I'm very
Tracy's very good. She takes calculus classes for fun.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
I
Any,
apologize.
no, that's fine. No, that's fine. Any questions for Cheryl? Thank you for being here.
I will. You'll notice it.
I've missed it.
Yeah, I should probably go with her because
Tracy,
our
I'm really
full
good
name
at
heads alone.
calculators.
Oh, I see. They're all alone. Okay.
Make a
Take
comment
a
about
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Someone from like.
Thanks for maintaining on the board something.
Yeah,
This
so
is
I
my
didn't know
middle,
when Buzz left and she started with this whole, oh, we got moved and blah, blah, blah. And I looked at her and I said, you're gonna love it. It's a wonderful school and your son's going to fifth grade. Let me tell you, they have the best fifth grade teacher, you know, and I was just saying, and I said to her, I don't know if you're involved in the PTA at Princess Hazel Reed, but we definitely are interested in including the new parents. And she said, oh, yeah, I'd definitely be interested in PTA. And I said, we may have already approved our board before your school comes in, but I know that there's lots of chair positions and lots of different things. So I didn't know, I told her that I said, if you would like information, contact your PTA president, because I believe our PTA president has gotten her your information. So I don't know if you've heard anything, I don't know if she ever contacted her, she was just saying that to be nice. But anyway, I was trying to kind of talk
No,
us
we've
up
already-
a little bit
We've
and,
already connected the bridge.
good.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
have our
so-
information, so, yeah.
So you
Yeah.
never know,
No, that's fine.
we may hear something.
I mean, that's all I can do at this point. is what
Absolutely,
I've done.
no, and that's what I told her. Okay,
Yeah,
that was
okay,
it.
yes, no, they have our information, like with PT board, okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
It was nice to see you.
nice to see you, Tracy.
Did you hear from Christy?
No? Okay. Okay, yes, so I have already contacted, yes, I've talked to the PTA president over at Princess Hazel Reed. She has my contact information. She's going to put stuff out at Red Rock. I took a picture of that big poster out there, of the PT board one, and that any of them that are interested, that they can contact us, so we're in the
No, that's
works.
great,
Yep,
I just
no,
wanted to kind of, I forgot to
We're in
say
the
about
works.
that the other day.
Yeah,
so.
but thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're good. Okay, after school program.
Everything's going really well. Video games are pouring in. I got quite a few new forms and checks. I still have to hunt down a few checks with no forms and a form with no check, but for the most part, it's going really well. I've gotten a few emails to kind of switch or do whatever, but it's nice when it's sort of this abbreviated, because it's not, you're not dealing with the outside vendors, and so it's the teachers and those taking care of it. So they're really able to talk up their thing. And I think you were gonna ask Christy, I would ask her if she were here, but about really pushing Spanish, Jump In, and Legos. I think those are the ones that are
You sent
probably.
her an email?
yes, that are probably lacking the most participation. I know we've gotten a couple more, 2 or 3 more, so it might not be that bad.
Oh, and pop and piano, because
and
guitar
pop and
is really
piano.
taken off,
Guitar
but he only
has,
has
yes.
a couple for pop and piano.
Yes, so, you know, it's just those 3, we do have some in each class, we just don't have a large amount. I would like to see if we can't push them, I know.
If you can send her an email, because we need to send an email about art, and I don't know what happened to us.
Yeah, so next time she sends that out, I'll ask her to kind of push that. I've also said to the teachers for them maybe to go on the morning show and to push it, and to really, or maybe go around the classes and tell them. And I even was sat at lunch the other day with my daughter, and I said, okay, you guys gotta ask your friends to go to jump in, because they were enrolled.
Right.
And I said, I don't know if they're gonna have it if we don't have 10 kids. So I was like, you need to talk to all your friends and have them ask their parents and stuff. So we just kind of need to get the word out there. But it's fine, it starts next Monday. So
Yeah.
we're good.
But you're right though about the because that's how some of them went on to the morning show.
Yeah.
And then that's how they get, so.
Well, and I can tell you, Video Game Club
Yeah.
set out a little desk
Yeah.
with forms sitting there and ask your parents, kids,
Yeah.
and made it very easy. So, you know, it's, you know, we can certainly put it out there, and we'll do the best we can to put it out there, but, you know, it's also the teachers who are teaching us, it would be helpful if they would also kind of get out there and inform the students, so it would help them. It would benefit them for sure.
Cool.
That's it.
All right, anything else? Nope, okay. Okay, so Spirit Night. So, it's this coming Monday at Manhattan Pizza. Elise did put in a half sheet into, that we're supposed to
Did
go
get
home.
that.
You got it. So it's not necessity that you bring that, but it is, implied or whatever, that it's, they would prefer that you had the half sheet, to bring the half sheet with you. Okay. Fifth grade celebration party. There really wasn't anything new. Heather's all on it. They have,
What are they doing? I haven't heard anything.
oh, they're doing all kinds of, they're renting, like, they get a belt, they're having a DJ,
Yeah.
but did they, are they renting, Christie's, whatever, okay. She sent me, let's see, here we go.
DJ hot dog.
Yeah, DJ
DJ
Hot Dog.
Hot.
They're doing a cakewalk, so Kathy, she's got a lot of people involved in it.
Good.
Sharon Wright's collecting donation items for raffle. They're gonna have popcorn supplies, they're gonna have a snow cone machine, so they're all on it. It's gonna be in the gym, so that's all taken care of. Okay, yeah, so any questions on that with the celebration? Teacher Appreciation Week, they're all getting ready for that, which is coming up the 2nd through the 6th of May. So that is happening, so we're not concerned there. All right, anything for chairs? Chair questions, comments, concerns. Okay, we're moving on to elected reports. Here's the treasury report from last month. Gonzalez, take one, please. Thank you. All right, so we started with $11,305.91. Ended with $7,970.81. So we do have some uncleared deposits and checks. Silent auction is over $900.
That's
So that was
great.
great.
Oh, wow.
Skate night, $727.26. And then here were some of the expenses, the big one being after school program with paying the teachers or
Oh, right.
or the
Yeah, yeah,
people,
yeah.
their money. Dare t-shirts was less than what we had budgeted for, so that was taken care of. And there's still something came in, a talent show, that was part of my thing with pizza and stuff, so. Okay, any questions on this? Okay, so we're expecting hopefully a bigger month next month because of the art fundraiser coming in and there may be some with the pledges. If we should have, by then we should know with money, have at least a better idea, with fun on. So, okay, any questions there? All right, moving on. Okay, so we said this for Spirit Night, that's coming up on Monday. Mr. Penix and Mr. Myers are our Shenandoah University Teacher of the Year nominees, and their portfolios are due by tomorrow at 5 p.m. at Shenandoah University. So I do not think Mr. Myers is doing one, but I did Mr. Penix's, I know, and Flora wrote a great letter, so we have that. And you wrote a great letter too? Yes, yes.
you. Oh,
She
good.
wrote a great letter
Thank
too.
you.
Our lovely librarian did. Did you copy the one from years past?
No.
No, okay. I told him that even though with no school, I said, tell him to let me know, and I will deliver it to Shenandoah University by 5 o'clock tomorrow. So that's the plan. All right, so the fun run money was voted on for a track, but we can label it as exterior improvements if we want, as opposed to just track. But
Do you think that would invite more questions? I don't know, what do you think?
I don't know.
Because there were people that said, oh, playground, I mean,
So we can do track. We can just do track, and then we can always change the name.
Cause that's what we called it last year,
Right.
the year before, because we weren't sure yet if we were doing a track or a,
Well, we were leaving it open in
Playground,
case,
right.
depending on the money to use, if we use it for landscaping, or if we use it for a
Right.
sign, or we use it for something else. But we can
Right.
put track.
it doesn't matter, I just,
I mean, we can do track.
Yeah.
All right, well, we can talk about that. We still can, we can discern where that
but
money
she's
goes.
gonna, do you know when she's gonna send that letter out? It's like, I've asked her.
Who's she?
Patrick
Oh.
Walker is supposed to send a letter to the parents.
I
Well, I'll just send a reminder.
Yeah. PT board, we're getting up to 77. I was at the Hunt District meeting the other day, and so they were there at PT board and really trying to push this, especially for the new schools. Yes, go. Thank you. Losing more and more. All right. No, it's totally fine. Thank you for being here. And then, and then there's no June PTA meeting.
Oh.
So yeah, there's no June meeting. So we'll just have our May will be it with the elections, and then we'll move into May, and then we'll move into June with the kind of new old board.
So we'll just have pseudo.
We'll have transition
pseudo
board amongst
PTA,
ourselves.
Yeah, pseudo
Yeah.
PTA meetings at swim meetings.
Yeah, and doing that. So, all right, we
On
good?
our hands.
Yeah. Are we good on mine stuff? I think we're good. All right.
I think so.
Tricia.
Okay, yeah, the only thing we have coming up is the spring art display. I've been in contact with, the vendor. They are gonna send the exhibit to Mr. Russell's attention, since I don't know if I'll be here when it comes in. And then I let him know that, and then we'll just need to set it up on that Friday before. So
The money's-
everything's fine, and then the money, I think I copied
paid.
Tracy, and it was paid.
It's in the mail.
Perfect, so that's been sent, so it's easy peasy now.
Yeah, and that was the 20. When was that date for that?
It's the
The week of the 25th.
24,
So the 22nd is when we need to set
yeah,
it.
so not next, right, so next Friday, we'll set it up,
Okay.
and then it will be on display the following.
All right. I'm just gonna put in my calendar to be here at like 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Is when we're gonna. It'll be the easiest with kids.
Yeah,
And with him being able to do it too, where he wants it.
I don't
So.
have my phone, so I can't put it in, but I will.
No, that's fine. Okay, so we got that?
Yeah.
Anybody,
I'm good.
any questions? Set up for art, display thingy. Okay, next, Laura.
So the fun run stuff, the back end of it is going well. We got the account set up. I'm almost done with all the t-shirt sizes. The only other part is just Harvard. The next meeting he's coming is on the 20th.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got that on my calendar.
And the art fundraiser, online total is 82 orders at 2,413.
That's good.
Awesome.
And our offline orders are $1,005.
Seriously?
The
There was
total
a huge
of
stack of them in there.
$3,417.75.
We bought coffee mugs.
How did you?
Yeah,
Let's see
sure,
you guys.
for grandma.
I just couldn't figure out what my kid drew. Okay.
Me either.
So, but no, that's great. I think
Yeah.
that's been tremendously
Yeah.
successful.
And
with
we're
how that-
going to extend the online ordering until the 19th.
And that's what we
Perfect.
need to have. I mean, and if Christy can't do it, I can do it on Facebook, so,
You know what I like about this one is that the stickers were fun.
Yeah.
But I think with the magnets from last year, it was easy and it was $6 and it was cheap, but you really had no incentive to look
Yes.
for anything
So what-
else. You
I was
just
gonna. I
you
was
just sort of
thinking
were
that.
like, oh, it's a magnet. Magnet's fine. What do I need? You know, whereas this one, because it was just stickers, I'm like, what am I gonna do with my kids' stickers? Now, Reese will have fun doing crafts and
Yeah,
stuff with them throughout the summer. But we opened the book and we looked
Right.
and
Well,
I
the
said,
cover
what do
had
you like?
The
And,
cover
you
had
know,
the kid's name on it.
Yes.
It had a mug with the art on it already.
So you could see
It
what
was
it
very
looked like
personal.
and,
Yeah.
we're big coffee drinkers, so it was an easy choice, you know, but it was, no, I thought that it was really good and I liked,
And it was
that.
it was very, very
Yeah.
organized.
Yes.
I mean, they had everything down to a date and a time.
Yeah.
They had the shipping labels, the
Yeah.
boxes, everything was just, I didn't do original artworks, this is the first time we've
Yeah,
used
yeah,
this company,
yeah.
so I don't know what I would
Yeah.
compare it to, but for me and the chairperson,
Yeah.
it was very simple.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the ease of the magnet, that was like easy, you just send in $6, you got your magnet, but I liked this better because I felt like it kind of made you sort of pay a little more attention to
Yep.
it, so, and I liked that, and I got a little more input from my kids too.
But yeah, with the original, it was a kind of a waste, then you had to chase people to try and get the magnet, and then they were charging us for the magnet, so I think
Yeah.
this
Right.
was.
No, I think
And the
going
stickers
forward,
are
this was a really
free.
good option.
So,
Yeah.
we don't have to chase anyone.
And I like that Mr. Russell knows who does this, and so, I think there's a
And it
lot
was-
of benefits to it.
Yeah, and I actually think, and I gotta check on the money that comes in, I think it's more, I mean, the split.
Okay.
The percentage we get.
Great, that'd be awesome.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, excellent, very good, and Leah's been great with it, I think, so
Yeah, she's.
might wanna
very-
hang on to her for extra
I
too.
know, yeah. She's there.
We're gonna be all set.
I think she has 2 toddlers, and she comes in here with her little kid,
That's
with a baby
awesome.
and a toddler.
That's
You're
awesome.
up.
Good for her, well, thank you.
Okay, so there was a mistake I just found. So Cheryl just told me on the nominations thing for the date, but I'll work on it. Not a big deal. Okay, Christy isn't here. We did do that posters out there of all the things that we've done in life. And I told her that send an email, if you don't mind, copy me, copy her, and I've asked her if she wants me to do it, or, and I know what you want, Flora, and then so I just may end up doing it, because I think we should do an announcement on PT board.
Yes.
And do Facebook announcements, so,
Yes, I agree.
alright,
I agree.
so just,
But yeah, I will send an email and copy you.
yeah, just copy me,
Just
because I may end
request
up doing
these,
it.
so, yeah, that's
Yeah, I may end up doing it. Alright, so is there anything for Christy besides what we need to do immediately?
I don't think so, okay.
New business? Thank you for coming to our meeting.
We're entertaining.
Very exciting. Alright, so upcoming events, and hopefully I didn't miss anything. The Spirit Night on Monday, Tuesday, the 19th, that's at midnight, right? Now, when are the paper ones due?
They were already due, I
I
think,
know.
by the
Yeah, they were
13th,
due
right?
today.
Are they technically not supposed to turn any more paper ones in?
You're supposed to mail them.
I see, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, okay. But the 19th at midnight is when people can order it, so.
Yeah.
Online. And the Fun Run Assembly is at 1:30 on the 26th, Tuesday the 26th. And Monday through Friday, May 2nd through the 6th is Teacher Appreciation Week. And then Tuesday, May 5th, beginning at 8:30, I believe, are the slots for each grade level for the Fun Run. Oh, I didn't put that. That's supposed to be the Fun Run. I missed that. That's for the Fun Run. And then our next PTA meeting is with elections is on May 12th. All right. Any questions, comments?
Well, we are doing the fun run on the 4th, so we're doing it the Thursday.
That's
Yes.
the 5th.
Did you?
Isn't that the 5th?
I think it is the
Oh,
5th.
Good, yeah, the 5th, gosh.
Yeah.
The Thursday, because I remember we were gonna do it on the Friday,
Yeah.
and we switched to Thursday.
Yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah,
5th is so the 5th is I just didn't put Fun Run next to
So
it.
does it go 8:30 to 3? I mean, I
I don't
haven't
know.
seen the
It
schedule.
goes,
How does it go?
it starts at 8:30 and then it ends before, because there's a music show or
Oh, that's
something.
right, the first grade music
So
show.
it always ends before that, so we're getting all of the runs in before the assembly.
So how long do the kids actually run?
For half an
So
hour.
I'm sorry,
Half an hour.
About a half an hour. So a half an hour for each grade level?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you're doing it by grade level instead
Yes.
of by?
And we're
class?
doing, it like, we all have 2 tracks out there,
Okay, cool.
so, there's gonna be 2 runs at the same time.
Yeah.
you know.
Gotcha. Cool.
But, it's planned down to like, they get 5 minutes to come from the classroom, set up,
Sure.
and then they run, and then they stop, and then it's just basically like a
Do we need,
continuous
do
circle.
we need, and I'm sure you've already done this, but I guess I'm just asking, are we putting anything on a volunteers for?
Oh, yeah,
Popsicles or
I know,
water or
I
anything
actually,
like
I'm gonna, contact Heather Gonzalez for the 8, we need 8. And then, Carver's gonna pick the 2 kids.
We need 8 volunteers?
Yes,
And then are
And
we
we
doing
don't-
anything with like water or popsicles?
they're
or
doing
anything?
everything.
They're doing it,
We
okay,
just need,
awesome.
we just need to have 8 volunteers.
We just need
and
bodies.
they tell them what
Okay.
to
That's
do.
what we pay.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
okay, no, that's
No,
great,
but
I
that's
just
what's
wasn't
nice.
sure, yeah,
No,
that
but
is nice.
That's the
That
part
is
of this
nice.
is nice when you pay the, then you.
Cause sometimes you buy popsicles and then they
It's
don't
like being
freeze cause the
catered.
freezer's broken.
Oh, really, that's
Ice cream's so
gross.
That's
cool.
their, It's
It wasn't
It's a-
broken.
Yeah,
TP,
and then you
not
have ice cream
MP.
social and then nothing.
their problem.
It's all right. We were good this year. We're good. Yeah.
I'm just
Uh,
glad, it's good.
Okay, what did I put in here? A new event at 9 a.m. I don't know. Okay, anything else? Our shortest meeting ever. Okay, all right, we're adjourned. Thank you
Now I have to feed my kid before the
to everyone.
concert tonight.
Awesome.
Awesome.